Hey guys, Justin here, and in today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can promote your music online and earn over $100,000 a year. Seriously, let's get started. All right, if you've watched some of the other videos on this channel, you've probably heard me talk about this principle before, and if you continue to watch videos on this channel, you're going to hear me talk about it again because it's really at the core of what it takes to be a successful independent artist. And that's the 1,000 true fan principle. Now, stick with me, even if you think you've heard this before, because in this video, I'm actually going to explain how you convert an average run-of-the-mill fan into a true fan that's going to spend a bunch of money with you. Now, let me quickly explain what the 1,000 true fan principle is, just in case you aren't familiar. Quite simply, it just means you don't need millions. You don't need millions of followers. You don't need millions of dollars. You don't need to be Jay-Z or Beyonce selling out stadiums with millions of downloads, millions of streams. You don't need all that in order to be successful as an artist. Now, that's fine if that's what you want, that's what you aspire to, but there are some smaller steps along the way before you reach that level of superstardom where you can dramatically make leaps and bounds in your music career. And one of the most important things is getting to that point in your career where your music, your art, your passion is self-sustaining. It's paying for itself. So your music career is paying all your bills so you don't have to work another job. It's fine if you want to, but you really want to have that option if you're serious about, that superstardom, or even just not having to have a regular job and having a real music career. I mean, you need to get to that point where you're making enough money to pay your bills and cover all your expenses. And that's not that far off. It's something that you could very realistically do in a very short amount of time. Like, you could realistically, in the next year, be making $100,000 a year from your music. And the key to doing that is to focus on building connections and relationships with your fans. So the 1,000 true fan principle states that you don't need millions, you don't need millions of dollars, you don't need millions of followers, you don't need millions of downloads, you just need 1,000 true fans that are each willing to spend $100 a year with you. If you have 1,000 fans, they spend $100 a year with you, that's $100,000 a year. All right, so then the next question obviously is, how do I get my regular fan, just the average run-of-the-mill fan that likes to stream my music on Spotify but's never spent a dime with me, how do I get them to spend $100 a year? All right, so first I'm going to talk about what not to do, because this is actually very important, and it's a very common mistake that a lot of artists make. What you don't want to do is try to sell too early. So what a lot of artists do is they'll go into forums, they'll go on YouTube, on social media, and they'll just hammer people with a download link to their new albums. They're like, just released my new album, go download it now, go buy it now, stream it on Spotify. And they're promoting this aggressively all over the internet to people that have never heard of them before. If somebody's never heard of you, they're not going to spend money downloading your album. Another great example of this is I live on Hollywood Boulevard. So right down the street every day, right now, I could walk out there and there'll be people, it's kind of raining right now, so maybe not, but generally there are just people all over Hollywood Boulevard that are just trying to hand out CDs and trying to get people to buy their music. Nobody's ever heard of them. Nobody's ever heard their music. And they're trying to give out these demos that may or may not have any music on them and trying to get people to buy them. And it's crazy. It's like, that's not how you build a following. That's not how you build a fan base. I respect the hustle. I respect the desire to be successful and what it takes to do that. But that's not how you do it. And especially online. Because as humans, we kind of tend to become a little bit desensitized when we're online. We forget that we're actually having conversations with real people. So when you go into a forum or you go on YouTube and you start telling people, buy my album, here's a link, buy my album. These are real people you're talking to. Just because it's easy to copy and paste a link and it's easy to copy and paste some aggressive sales message doesn't mean that people are actually going to respond to that. So if you want to successfully promote your music online and get those 1,000 true fans that are going to spend $100 a year with you and buy your merch, buy your albums, come to your shows, pay for DVDs or recordings of live performances, you have to build a connection first. You have to indoctrinate them into your tribe so they know who you are, and then you can sell. So you bond with them first, and then you can sell to them. So how do you bond with them? How do you connect with them first? Well, you don't start off by selling. If you never heard of me before and I tell you, hey, go buy my album, it's available now, it's only $10 on iTunes, you're not going to go buy it. You never heard my music before, you don't know who I am. With all the music that's out there and available to people for free, they're not going to spend money with you until they at least know who you are. So how do you do that? Well, fortunately, with the internet, it's actually very easy. Social media is a great platform, and also email is a great platform. Now, email is probably the best way. If you've watched my other videos, you know that I'm going to harp on this, and I'm going to try not to talk too much about email marketing in this video, but just to give you an idea of how valuable this can be when it comes to building a relationship with your fans. When you get followers on social media, first of all, that's a great way to start to build a following. But the thing about your social media is it goes out to everybody. You know, when you post on social media, it's not a very personal feeling. Like, your followers might dig what you post. They might, like to see what's going on in the studio. They might like to, see when you're updating them and letting them know when new albums are out and all that sort of stuff. But there's definitely a feeling of you're broadcasting it to the world on social media. With email, it's very human to human. You can create this connection where it feels very personal, like a very one-on-one connection. The cool thing about email also is that you can automate it. So one of the things that I would recommend doing is get your fans' email address and have an automated series of emails that goes out. And if you're not familiar with this, it's actually really easy to do. There's a lot of tools and software that are available to help you do this. But you can actually set up an automated series of emails that will go out to your fans. Once they sign up to your email list, you can send them very personalized messages that help you to build that connection before you try to sell something to them. So typically, what I recommend doing when you're getting the email address in the first place is offer your fans or your prospective fans some free music. Music's free anyway, so offer them some free tracks, some exclusive tracks in exchange for their email address. And then once they sign up to your email list, you deliver the free tracks, and then you start to engage with them through your automated series of emails. Send out a welcome email introducing yourself, introducing maybe your bandmates, producer, whoever else is involved on your team. Introduce all those people to your new fans and start to build that connection. Then send them to all your social platforms. Send them to your YouTube channel, your Instagram, so you can continue to build that connection there, so you can speak to them on multiple mediums. So make that your initial goal, is like focus on creating that relationship with your fans and then sell, then promote your album. And it's okay to soft sell your album when somebody signs up to your email list. Say, hey, sign up to my email list, get these 3 free exclusive tracks you're not going to get anywhere else. They enter their email address. They go to a page that says, oh, hey, thank you for entering your email address, signing up to my email list. Also, if you want, I have this album available for $9.99 on iTunes or whatever. And a small percentage of your new fans might actually go purchase your album, maybe 1 or 2 out of 100. But that's not where you're going to make most of your money. It's once you start to build that relationship with all of those fans on your email list and start to build that connection with them where they feel like they actually know you, then they're going to be a lot more likely to spend money and check out your album and actually pay for it after a few days or maybe a couple weeks or maybe even a few months. But by focusing initially on bonding with your fans, making that connection, it's going to be a lot easier to sell your album, to sell some merch, to get them to come to your shows. It's going to be a lot easier to do all of that if you start out by creating a conversation, a dialogue with your audience, a dialogue with your fans. Build that relationship first, and then you sell. Don't go online and spam the internet with links to your new album to a bunch of people that have never heard of you before, because that's just not going to work. You're wasting your time. I know it's easy to do, but it's not going to work anyway. It's not going to work. You might sell a few albums. I'm not going to say that you won't, but you're not going to build enough of a connection where you're going to be able to really have that following of fans that are going to spend money with you, come to all your shows, buy all your merch, and support your career so you can make $100,000 a year or more as an independent artist. So I know I rambled a little bit there, but the reality is earning $100,000 a year as an independent artist is not as difficult as it might seem right now if you're just getting started. Focus on that relationship first. Build that connection with your fans. And they're going to be a lot more willing to spend money with you than if you just try to hammer them and sell to them before they even know who you are. All right, so the key points that I want you to take away from this are you can make $100,000 a year as an independent artist. All you need are 1,000 fans that'll spend $100 a year with you. And in order to get to that point, you need to focus initially on creating a relationship, bonding with your fans, and then you sell, not the other way around. Don't try to sell to fans that don't know who you are. Those aren't fans. Those are just random people. You're not going to be able to make money that way. All right, so build a connection, then you can sell to your fans. And before long, you'll have a music career that's self-sustaining, that supports you, that pays all your bills, that you can focus all your time on if you choose to. Now, it might not be what you want, but it's a nice option to have, right? If you're really passionate about your music. That's kind of the dream, right? So I hope you found this video helpful. If you haven't already downloaded my free music promotion blueprint, go ahead and click the link in the video description below to download that now. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and comment in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to this channel for more videos to help you promote your music online and grow your fan base. And don't forget to tick the little bell icon to be notified as soon as new videos are released. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.